begin tonight with breaking news in the search for two missing USF doctoral students, which has taken a heartbreaking turn. Investigators have confirmed they have found the remains of one of those students, Zamil Limon, and hours later they arrested Limon's roommate in connection with the case. But right now it is still unclear what happened to the other student, Nahida Bristi, and the search for her is intensifying tonight. As we speak, dive teams with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office are in the water looking for Bristi near the Howard Frankland Bridge, which is where Limon's remains were discovered this morning. We have been tracking developments in the case all day across two counties. It started with a massive backup this morning along the Howard Frankland. Then evidence was being investigated at a sheriff's office facility on 28th Street North in St. Petersburg. And in Hillsborough County, dozens of deputies, a SWAT team, and the bomb squad were called out to the Lake Forest community where the suspect was arrested after a standoff. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office just released this video showing the suspect, 22-year-old Hisham Abugarbiye, walking out in a towel as he finally surrendered to deputies. He now faces a slew of charges, including unlawfully moving human remains. Fox 13 is covering this developing story from all angles. Our Aaron Mesmer is at the Lake Forest community where the suspect was arrested. But we begin with Evan Axelbank live at Avalon Heights, the student housing community where Limon lived with the suspect. Evan, bring us up to speed.
Yeah, and deputies have been out here investigating all day long. I am told by sources that a violent incident happened in one of the apartments above me here. I can also tell you that right now dive teams are back out at the Howard Frankland Bridge searching for the body of Nahida Bristi. But earlier today, this was the scene. The remains of 27-year-old Zamil Limon, who lived here at the Avalon apartment complex, were found in the water off the Howard Frankland Bridge. You see it there. That recovery took several hours and forced FHP to close several of the northbound lanes as they did their work. The remains were then brought to a Pinellas County Sheriff's Office facility on 28th Street North. Crime scene technicians were there as they began to process what they found. At around 1:30, deputies confirmed publicly that they were indeed the remains of the missing USF student Zamil Limon. They also said that Nahida Bristi is still unaccounted for and that they are working around the clock to figure out where she might be.
We're still working the investigation, so we need the community's help. Any tips we have to see her last known location, where has she been seen recently? If anybody has that information, please contact the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
Investigators say that Limon lived here with 26-year-old Hisham Abugarbiya, Limon's roommate. He is under arrest for something unrelated at this point, but deputies do believe that he is the suspect in Limon's death and Nahida Bristi's disappearance. They do say, though, that he is under arrest also for moving a dead body and tampering with evidence and also not reporting a dead body. So this investigation has spanned numerous locations, both in Hillsborough County and in Pinellas counties. Deputies have searched as far as Sand Key, where they believe that was the last time his cell phone was pinging, the suspect's cell phone, that is. And we do not yet know the motive nor how Zamil was killed, but deputies say that they are working around the clock to get that. They're waiting for the medical examiner to come back with their report. Haley.
Sadly, not the ending that we were all hoping for. Right. Evan, thank you.
Well, this heartbreaking discovery started more than a week ago. On Thursday, April 16th, Limon was last seen at his apartment around 9 a.m. Then an hour later, Bristi was last seen at the campus Natural Environmental Sciences building. The next day, Friday, April 17th, a family friend reported them missing at 5 p.m. after their phones were switched off. On Wednesday, HCSO took over the investigation, and last night they went to Sand Key and Clearwater to follow a lead after passing out flyers, and that is when they listed the two as endangered. And that led to this scene at the Lake Forest subdivision where Hillsborough deputies made the arrest just before noon this morning. They had to call in the SWAT team after the man barricaded himself inside an apartment. Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer has been following this throughout the day and is live at the Lake Forest community along Bruce B. Downs Boulevard. Aaron, take us through what happened and who this suspect is.
Yeah, Linda, we're learning a lot more about the suspect who was taken into custody this morning. He's a former USF student and, as we reported, was the roommate of the missing doctoral student whose remains were found near the Howard Frankland Bridge today. Now, video released by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office shows the suspect's arrest. 26-year-old Hisham Agubarbieh walked out of his family's apartment in the Lake Forest community wearing nothing but a towel. Deputies can be seen ordering him onto the ground and then taking him into custody. This followed a massive response from deputies. It included SWAT teams, crisis negotiators, and bomb defusing specialists. In the end, deputies convinced him to come out peacefully. Let's back up to how this started today. We're told Agubarbieh's family lives at this complex, and someone in the home called 911 to report a domestic disturbance. Deputies got the family out safely, but Agubarbieh locked himself inside the apartment and initially refused to come out before eventually giving himself up to the SWAT team. Investigators say he was Zamil Lamon's roommate, as we said. And we're told he'd already been questioned about the disappearances of Lamon and Nahida Bristi before today. Investigators and neighbors in this community have been reacting to this situation throughout the day.
You know, Sheriff Cronister's #1 priority is to keep this community safe and to locate these two USF students. And working collectively with USF Police Department and Chief Daniel, we did that.
It's heartbreaking that people want to come from another country over here to study, you know, because we've got top-notch universities and stuff like that, and now he's not going back home. He doesn't have his doctorate degree and things like that, and hopefully the lady that's missing will be found alive in that. But yeah, it's disheartening just to think about it taking place right here in your neighborhood.
Now, USF confirmed that the suspect, again, is a former student. At the moment, he's facing several charges, including domestic violence, tampering with evidence, and failure to report a death. But he's not yet facing a murder charge, although we're told that could change speculatively following the autopsy. He also has at least 2 prior arrests for battery and burglary. As Evan reported, the search continues for Nahida. At this point, her status is unknown. Back to you.
All right, Aaron Mesmer reporting live for us. Thank you, Aaron.